Hello YouTube, this is part 3 of my top 40 mostly metal albums of 2021. This is my top 10. I'm excited. I've been having a good time watching metal YouTube's various lists. People have a lot of different tastes from around the world, and it's been really cool watching fellow metalheads discuss what they loved, what grabbed them, what they discovered in 2021. So let's begin. My number 10 was a band I had never heard of until I came across this album. I don't even remember in this moment how I came across them, but I am talking about the debut full length from the Death Doom band Severus, and the album is called Decrepit Flesh Relic. I was immediately blown away by this album. It is extremely heavy, yet very good song dynamics, very good compositional skills. It just takes you into it's a world building type of Death Doom, loud, ominous, melodic, but not in a very obvious way. But it just has this relentless atmosphere and darkness about it that is just really, really cool. I was really blown away that this was a debut project. Severus is a band out of Los Angeles, California. And yeah, they are my number 10 album of 2021. Number 9 is an album I do not have a hard copy for yet, but I will hopefully get the vinyl when it is available. I am talking about the project from Converge, Chelsea Wolfe, Stephen Brodsky, and Ben Chisholm. Converge and Chelsea Wolfe are the cover artist, but again, this is a multiple artist project. I just named them for you. Brodsky was from the band Cave In. Ben Chisholm is Chelsea Wolfe's songwriting partner. And Converge is the metallic hardcore veterans and legends from Massachusetts. And Blood Moon 1 is the name of the project. And if you think of this as a Converge album, you might be disappointed, though the quality of the musicianship and songwriting and different parts are up there. It's Converge. But the music is a bit different. This is a different project. The second listen for me is when it really clicked that this was basically like a doom metal album, a doom project, even post-metal parts. But yeah, so I think this is a doom album, and it works in that capacity extremely well. It's fun to listen to. You're always excited for the next part to come. Still need to listen to it a lot more, but yeah, deeply impressed with this album. Uh, Converge, Chelsea Wolfe, Blood Moon 1, number 9. Number 8 is a another post-metal, post-doom band out of Belgium, and it is the band Amundra with their album Day Dawn. The band had 6 major releases before this. They were all titled Mass 1, MASS, like the religious service, Mass 1, Mass 2, Mass 3, Mass 4, Mass number 5, and Mass 6. This is their first release outside that series of albums, Day Dawn. I first heard of Amun Ra when I heard the first single they released from this album, track 2. Not gonna try to pronounce it. And yeah, I was blown away at the nuance and the attention to detail. It's cathartic. It's heavy as one would want. It's dynamic, and it's an experience. Number 8, Amon-Ra with Daydorn. Next up is one of my favorite extreme metal bands, and they put out an album that is just unique, excellent, and does the name of the band well. Talking about Full of Hell and their album Garden of Burning Apparitions. I don't think it's the best Full of Hell album, but it's up there. It is up there in terms of a full listening experience. One of my favorite albums of the year, and Full of Hell is just one of my favorite extreme metal bands. If you've never heard them, you're going to get a death grind band for the most part. Death grind plus some hardcore moments, some alternative rock moments, some noise rock, some doom throughout. The vocalist Dylan has amazing lows, amazing highs, amazing mids. One of the most dynamic metal vocalists out today. The drummer's incredible. The guitar player Spencer does really cool death grind riffs. He's in a number of other projects, including Jarhead Fertilizer. Full of Hell, though, to me is my favorite death grind band. If you know of any others to check out, please leave a comment below. Number 7, Full of Hell. Number 6 was my album of the year, I believe, at the midpoint 2021. And again, at this point with this many albums, right, I did a list of 40. I listened to over 100, 150, 200 releases in 2021. At this point, these are all pretty much flawless albums, in my opinion. If I had to give them a number, these are all 9.5 to 10. So take what you will from that. My number 6 album of the year is Gojira with Fortitude. Progressive death metal band out of France. One of my favorite bands of all time. I really enjoy all of their releases. My favorite is The Way of All Flesh. But song for song, they are one of the strongest bands in modern music, modern extreme music, and a lot of people agree with me this year, which is cool to see. You probably know the singles Born for One Thing, Amazonia, and Another World. I do think the bottom half of the album is stronger. So if you like those songs but didn't love those songs, I would say press play on track 4 named Hold On and listen to the end. My favorite song on here is Sphinx. I really like The Trails. Out of the 3 main singles, I would say my favorite is Another World, followed by Amazonia, and then Born for One Thing. Fortitude, awesome progressive death metal band, one of the first bands to get me into death metal ever, so I thank Gojira for that. Also the reason why I went back to check out the band Death, because main guitarist vocalist Joe Duplantier listed Chuck as one of his biggest inspirations, so I know Death thanks to Gojira. This band rules. Number 6, Fortitude. Number 5 is my favorite tech death album of the year. I haven't listened to a bunch of tech death. I don't really like tech death that much. But this is an example of a band doing technical death metal quite well. It's very groovy still, catchy, memorable. Just the aesthetics are fantastic. If you like the band The Chasm, maybe Gore Guts, maybe Cynic, but that doesn't really get you there. But I'm talking about Portland, Oregon-based Enigmatum with their second LP, Deconsecrate. This album rules. I still remember the first moment hitting play on it and just blown away at the drum fill, and then 45 minutes later I was like, this album is going to be one of my favorite albums of the year, and that is true to this day. Check out track 1, Forged from Bedlam. Then check out Disenthralled, Fractured Proclivity. Keep going. This album rules. Melodic, technical, death metal, plenty of grooves. If you like Void Ceremony, you're gonna like Enigmatum. Awesome. Number 4, I do not have a physical copy of this release, but I am talking about Worm and the album Foreverglade. Phantom Slaughter, really cool guy. I love how much he is inspired and passionate and has passion for what came before him. Check out his interviews with Ken and Ken's Death Metal Crypt YouTube channel. This is a mostly Death Doom project that has blackened parts, funeral doom parts. I love the drum production. I love the vocals. I love that there's riffy parts just when you need them. I like the shreddy solos. This has something for everyone who's into extreme metal, old and new. Check out Worm, Foreverglade. I'm excited to pick that up when I can. My number 3 album of the year was another band that I just discovered this year. I was immediately blown away listening to their debut album. I bought their debut album on LP. And then I pre-ordered what became my 3rd favorite album of 2021. Talking about Yautja and the album The Lurch. Sludgy, grindcore metal. This is heavy. This is what I would show to somebody who says, what's heavy? This right here. This is heavy. Amazing drummer. The drummer is also in the band Thou. I'm not very well versed in sludge, so that might be why I'm going to say the next statement. Because I'm saying this might not be true. But I haven't heard too many bands that sound like Yautja. That's what stands out for me, hearing The Lurch, hearing their debut album. Yautja, just killer, heavy, sludgy metal. That, man, it's just very fun to listen to. You never stop banging your head. You never stop air drumming. Awesome release. Check out Yautja and The Lurch if you haven't heard it yet. Number 2, this album is a longer album. It's a progressive metal band from Scotland. And even though it was an hour and 5 minutes, I immediately pressed play right after my first listen because I loved it. This is this generation's Lateralis, but better. The band Dune with the album Edamin Enka. Cover work made me press play. The musicianship, the dynamics, the story, the lyrics, the vocals, the songwriting kept me coming back. I think this will be an album I listen to forever, moving forward. And yeah, their debut album is also really good. I think this is better. Amazing, perfect, progressive metal with a nice amount of clean vocals, which I'm picky about, that work quite well. If you like Tool, but want Tool to be a bit more extreme, a bit more, I don't know, like, just a bit more metal, check out Dune. This is my 2nd favorite album of 2021. Up next, we have my favorite band of all time. They released their best album of all time. Um, Every Time I Die, with their album, Radical. I also see a number of publications, I think Kerrang, I'm not positive, but a number of publications and a number of people have appreciated this album and put it near the top of their list. But a lot of metalheads, a lot of extreme music fans will pass up on this band because they will have some preconceived notions or some stereotypes about what they might sound like due to the name, due to who they toured with when they were first coming out. Every Time I Die, my favorite band, and they play metallic hardcore. They bring in some southern riffs, but it's the songwriting, the guitar duo of Andy and Jordan is one of my favorite guitar duos I've ever come across. Keith Buckley is my favorite vocalist and favorite lyricist. This album is everything this band does to a perfection. This is a masterpiece, my favorite album of the year, and it's actually not even close. I've listened to it more than any other album. For a band that already was my favorite, uh, um, I mean, to put out this 20 years into their career, where I can just easily say this is their best album, and they're again a band to me that already has perfect albums. That is a feat. I can't say I'm surprised because this band is the best. So, Every Time I Die, Radical. If you don't know, it's your loss. You should know. This band kicks ass. Uh, yeah, this has been my favorite 40 albums. This part right here has been my top 10 albums of 2021. Excited for 2022. Have some cool videos in store. Gonna, of course, continue to do collection updates. I'm gonna try to do some band rankings. I'm gonna rank albums. Rank entire discographies. I'll try to do some reviews, and who knows what else? Who knows what else? So, thank you for watching and for following me so far here on YouTube. Talk to you all later. Bye.